Hey everybody, welcome to Working Horses with Jim. Today I've come to bring Jim his lunch. I haven't been up to his log job yet, and I decided I wanted to come and check it out and see what's going on here. So here he's coming out of the woods with the horses and a load of logs. Or excuse me, a log. Looks like he's been a very busy guy. Smells wonderful here. You can smell the pine. Hey!
I got one more hitch for lunch.
Okay.
It's not very far off.
Okay. I could see you when I was driving in next to the road. Jim's told me about this house here and how much I would enjoy meeting the owners. I have not yet, but the house is super cute. Super cute. They have a well-worn path here, and they've got a little more snow up here than we do where we live. Jim told me yesterday it makes the logging so nice to have this extra little bit of snow. The logs slide so easily. Lady, you impatient for lunch? Jim said she's been pretty hyper this week. Just wants to pull and pull. Hey, Bill. It's a good-sized tree.
Okay, that's great.
Okie doke. When I come to visit Jim for lunch, I realize he kind of always goes through the same routine. The horses have got to be fed up, set up and fed before he eats lunch.
I'll tell you a little story about what happened many years ago. It was back in the early 80s, and I was just in my early 20s, starting out logging, and I was cutting on a job not too far from home, so I was actually walking down to the job, and it was spruce pulp, so I was cutting everything 4 foot, and you go over there and I'll do this while I'm talking. And what I had done for many days actually is at lunchtime I would stop. I just pulled out a hitch, and so it was kind of in a driveway sort of like this, and so there wasn't a lot of room on either side, but I was just cutting pulp, so it was all 4 foot pulp, so I would cut it and I'd stack it up into this pile by hand, just so I have a nice long pile of pulp. So what had happened that particular day is I had gotten a bad habit. My horses were so good, or so I thought, that I would get here, I'd just pulled out a hitch, so I got a full hitch of spruce right here, and I'd gone down there, turned around, so the horses were headed right back to where the spruce was. And then it was lunchtime, so I would stop. I felt they were so good, I would not unhitch the evener, and I would just drop the neck yoke. So here's these horses still hitched to the cart, unhitched here. I had disconnected their lines, pulled their bridles off them. I don't know if I had halters on them or not, but it doesn't matter. So I put their buckets and the hay right here in front of them. This is something they've did for days, you know, for a long time. And I should have known better. And so then after I was done with my lunch, they were still eating. So I was up here with my chainsaw, cutting up this 4 foot pole. And I was probably from here, I don't know where I was, this far away from these horses. And I always had my back turned to them. And all of a sudden, I heard them take off. And I can't remember as long time whether I heard them or actually felt them first. But anyways, they hit me right on my backside, or maybe I was turning, like, I think what must happen is as they was coming dead at me, a full wide open gallop, I turned, and when I did, you picture this cart being dragged behind this pair of horses that are basically running away. So what I did as the horse on this side came by, I actually grabbed right here and swung and was dragged by that pair of horses for not very long, but it sure seemed like a long time. And I realized I had no choice. I had to let go. So I let go, and I remember going down and putting my hand over my head, and that pair of horses went right over the top of me, straddled me. They never touched me. And that cart, which was dragging behind, somehow never touched me. I mean, it's definitely one of those miracles you never forget in your life. And I am so thankful that God pulled me through one more situation. A lot of these stories I don't even like to tell my wife because it gets so upset sometimes. But
Yes.
I'm saying it because of the importance of always unhitching the neck, the evener first, and then unhitching the neck yoke. Never, ever unhitch the neck yoke while you're still hitched the evener. The chances of catastrophe are just way too great. So anyways, let's go get them hitched up, unhitched instead.
Lady did not want you to tell a story right then. She was ready to, she's ready to eat. She's like, hurry up.
Been very impatient this week. I'm not sure why, but
Sure is pretty here with the snow on the trees. Hungry lady. So cute.
on Bill's bridle, I unhitched the farther line so the bridle is completely disconnected. But for Lady, I leave her line here because I can swing it right over and hitch it here. So I'm going to get some water first. My horses don't drink a lot of water in the wintertime. This bucket has worked really well for me. It's got one of these covers, and so I put that on like that, and then I see if they want water. Sometimes they drink, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they didn't drink right now, but then I will water them again after they eat, and they're more apt to drink then. So now they're just separated. Got the hay bag and the grain. So for the grain bucket, they just have buckets right now. This is just an old bucket that actually hangs quite well for lady. I used to have feed bags, which I liked in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways I didn't. If you put a feed bag on a horse, they're stuck eating their grain. If they get a bucket with free choice of grain, then they can eat hay and or grain, whichever they'd like. And on my side of things, if I'm eating in the truck, I don't have to get back out and take the bag off their heads. But I used to have old army feed bags. They were kind of neat, and they worked great for a while. But now I've just gone to using buckets with just straight oats. That's all they get for lunch. And I put the blankets on at noon. And what I also do is their bridles are hanging here on the hames. So today it's not too cold, but this works really good when it is cold. So they're hanging here, and what I would try to do is get the bit covered up by the blanket, like so. That way the bit is warm when it comes time to put it back on again after lunch. Okay, guess that's it. Now for the most important.
Hold your lunchbox. So I just wanted to show you Jim's thermos. Sure has been a good thermos, because I think we had it when he lived in Vermont before he moved up here, so it's like 30 years old. The handle's, of course, duct taped on, and then he put some sort of a horse strap on there.
Well,
so
this is for when I have a log job. The last few winters I've been working on it. It's a long ways in, and sometimes I take my lunch and I'll actually eat in there. So I have this strap so I can strap it onto my cart so I can have my coffee break.
It's also had that little cooler for probably almost as long.
Hey, something works. Why get something new?
That's right. Do you usually turn the heat on, turn the truck on when you...
Cold?
A little. You're gonna have to share your coffee with me.
Coffee.
No. Enough to eat?
I did.
Feel like,
Take a nap? Yep.
you're ready to take a nap, huh? No, I thought I was gonna ask you if you felt like you're excited about getting back to work this afternoon.
Not exactly.
So you think the horses will be excited to get back to work?
Probably not.
That's what I was thinking.
It's getting towards the end of the week. We're tired.
Yep. You've had a pretty good week. You've done a lot of logging this week.
Yep.
The weather's been favorable. So the horses are still finishing their lunch up, and Jim typically cuts up the last hitch he brought in, or they brought out, I should say, and gives them a little more time to eat. I just love to watch the horses eat. I love to hear them. How many board foot in that log?
320.
Is that average or big for this lot?
That's
Would you
a big,
say?
this is a nice tree, one of the bigger ones. So that's a 16. That log's a 16-foot log, and this is a 12-foot log. So this one has 160 board feet. So 160 and what is it, 320? So 480 feet.
This one looks pretty big too.
Is that a 12 or 14? What did I say that was?
480.
480 and 235.
I like your system.
Works. The little baggie keeps everything dry. Okay. I'll set skid steer up, throw these logs on my pile, and then I'll get to work so you can go home.
Alrighty. So thanks for coming along with us today. Hope you enjoyed the lunch break. Have a great afternoon.